Hi, I'm PK Newbie. Welcome to The Nutrition Doctor is in the kitchen, cooking and eating the PK way. Tonight I'm making with you a fresh tomato and basil soup. It's one of my favorite soups to make in the summer, and it comes together in about 5-10 minutes, and that's because I'm starting with a fresh vat of homemade tomato sauce that I made the other day. So it's a wonderful way to employ all of your hard work from making a tomato sauce. So stick with me and I'll show you how it's done. So the first step in all of my soups is a homemade vegetable stock. Now, I have a whole other video about that, so I'm going to not really show much about it tonight, but the key part that I want to show you is that this little bag of vegetable scraps is actually from when I made the tomato sauce. So very exciting. I have my, ends of the peppers, the onions, garlic, some parsley, basil, what have you. That is all going to go right into this pot. I took the liberties of getting the water started just to move things along, but all we're doing is boiling some veggie scraps. I'm going to also add a few peppercorns, a small handful. This is like maybe, no, that's too many. This is maybe like a half teaspoon, and a few other parsley sprigs. Vegetable stock in action. Hi there, it's been about 40 minutes and I'm not going to show you this step, but I did drain my stock. It's a beautiful golden color. And for the record, if you don't feel like making your own stock, you can use a bouillon, make sure it has no sodium, and then the soup would be ready in actually 10 minutes. But if you do want to make a stock, check out my other video and we have it ready to go into our soup. First, I'm going to chop up some basil. It's really not a big deal. Going to get pureed into the soup, so I'm not going to really go crazy here. Basil. In the pot it goes. And I also have some oregano. Actually, I can do it here so you can watch me. For oregano, you can just pull off the leaves just like with thyme. And all we're going to do is puree the whole thing with some stock, cream, pepper, and then we're going to be good to go. Hi there, I've found my handy Immersion Blender, and if you do not have one of these, you must get one, because in the olden days I would take this soup and put it into a blender, and a number of different bad things happened in that process, involving burning myself and it kind of like exploding out of the ceiling, that kind of thing. With this lovely tool, that doesn't happen. So let's get the process started. Okay, so this smells absolutely incredible, and one of my blog readers joked with me that one time they were trying to make tomato sauce and it really just ended up being tomato basil soup. Now, my point being is that you could just kind of throw this in a bowl and it would be good to go, but let's play with it, make it a little bit fancier, and plus it is a little bit thick. So what I'm going to do now is add some of our wonderful stock. See, I did tell you that it was a lovely golden color. This is all approximations, as you can see, but this was about 2 cups. And I'll save the cream for a minute. I really actually don't need a blender for this, but it's kind of fun, so I'll do it again. Okay, yes, that is looking more soupy and a little bit better to eat with a spoon. Also, the more liquid you add, the more volume you create in your stomach, the fuller you feel. Because remember, this is no calories, this is just flavor, but it's just thinning it out. I'm going to add a little bit more, and I really don't need my blender anymore. So I'm going to just give this a stir. It's looking pretty good. It's still looking pretty thick. I'm going to throw in some pepper because I know I like that, so we'll reseason that way. And I still am going to grab a little more stock here. Originally I made 8 cups. We're not going to need all of that, but this is quite a big vat for 2 people, isn't it? That's because a bunch of it is going into the freezer, and that way I will be eating beautiful tomato basil soup in the middle of winter. Okay, so I'm going to add cream. If you want to stop right here, you can do that. This is a vegan version. I do think cream adds a little bit of luscious, velvety goodness, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Makes it a pretty pink color too. and we're going to take a taste. Oh yeah, that is gorgeous. The funny thing about tomato soup is I never used to like it when I was growing up. I don't know why, I just was not into it, and now I just cannot get enough of it in the summer. All right, it's tasting time. Oh, that is great. That is perfect. I don't even know what else to do with that. And just see the color has switched. It's now looking a lot more like soup, not just like pureed tomato sauce. Okay, I'm very excited to serve up this luscious tomato basil soup. You could serve it as is, no fuss, no muss. However, if you want to get a little fancy, you could adorn it with a cheese of your choice. And then natural is, of course, something like Parmesan Reggiano, Romano, Asiago, something of that ilk. However, I have found that just a little bit of goat cheese is just absolutely unbelievable. So that is what I'm going to do. And to top it off, little drizzle of olive oil, just a little crack of pepper. And last but not least, grab my shears, a couple of chives, throw them on there. All right, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous soup. When you come over and take a look at it, I'm gonna grab a little bit of taste here. Final taste. It is so good. It is so good, and good for you too. So if you think soup isn't a meal, it's definitely a meal. So make this tomato basil soup the height of summer, throw some in the freezer, and also I'm going to be enjoying it in about 5 minutes for dinner. See you next time.